Good morning. We are back here today to continue studying lesson number 1, and today we are studying topic number 3. Where did sin originate? Question A. How do we know the following passage of scripture is not speaking of the literal king of Tyre? In the book of Ezekiel chapter 28, 11 through 15, is talking about someone here. You were in Eden, the garden of God. You were blameless in your ways from the day you were created, until wickedness was found in you. So, if it was talking about a person, a literal king, it was not possible for this king to be in the Garden of Eden, and not for him to be blameless. We have here point number 1. If this were speaking of the actual human king and not as a symbol, what type of person would he be, since he would have been born of a woman? So he would be a sinner. And the verse is saying that he was blameless until wickedness was found in him. The verse from Psalm 51 verse 5 says, "Surely I was sinful in birth, sinful from the time my mother conceived me." And the verse from Romans chapter 3:23 says, "For all have sinned and come short of the glory of God." Point number 2. Who was the only other being brought to view in the Garden of Eden that was once perfect and then became sinful? In the book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 9, is talking about the ancient serpent called the devil. And now, here the first lines of this text from Bible Commentary, volume 4, page 1162 says, "The first sinner was one whom God had greatly exalted. He is represented under the figure of the Prince of Tyre, flourishing in might and magnificence." Now we have question B. What special role did Lucifer have in the government of God before his fall? It says in the verse of Ezekiel 28, verse 14, "You were anointed as a guardian cherub." So he had a very high position. He was beside the throne of God, and he was a guard cherub. His position was very close to God, and as it explains here in Exodus chapter 25, when the Lord gave the directions how to build the ark, and the angels that would go up the propitiatory, the angels, they would be covering the ark. Their wings would be over the ark. So it was the position of Lucifer. His was a cherub that would be, his wings would be covering the throne of God. And this was his special role. Now question C. What shows that he had a special musical talent? The verse from Ezekiel 28:13 is talking about how he had all the precious stones around him, and the workmanship of thy tabrets, that is a musical instrument, and of thy pipes was prepared in thee in the day that thou was created. So he had also musical instruments. He had a special talent of a musician. And how does he skillfully use this in his work of deception? So we know that music has a great power in the mind of a person. And here in the passage of Daniel 3, verse 5 through 7, when King Nabucodonosor, he built the image, and everyone was supposed to worship that image. So when the music would be played, the instruments would be playing, people were supposed to be worshiping. So these musics probably had a special influence on the people. So they would all bow down and worship the image. And today we know that also he can work through our minds, the way we act, through music. We have here that Satan knows what organs to excite, to animate, engross, and charm the mind, so that Christ is not desired. So it's very interesting here what it's talking about, how music has a powerful way of working the mind of each one of us. So we need to be aware and be very careful to what we have been listening, what type of music we are listening. Music that would bring us close to God, or music that will bring us close to our enemy. May the Lord guide us and help us to be always aware of the influence music can have in our lives. May you have a blessed day, and we will be back tomorrow morning by the grace of the Lord.